What is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe with NEVERsate.com, and today we're running through the woods naked. That's not really happening at all. What is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe with NEVERsate.com, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to try to explain to you guys how I kind of inadvertently have started a side business of selling firewood. Now, for all of my tree loving and tree hugging friends, trust me, I am on your side. All of the trees that I am getting for this venture either are dead trees that are on my property that need to be removed anyway, or I am purchasing loads of logs from a tree company. And when they remove the trees that are nice go to lumber companies or make nice tabletops, things like that. And the trees that are no good for anything else because they're too knotty and too gnarled and beat up, guys like me can pick up and kind of process into firewood so that nothing goes to waste. So yes, I do not like watching live trees get taken down anyway. However, I do like living inside of structures and understand the reality of things. So the trees that aren't good for the other things that do get removed, at least, are not going to waste. All right, also two other things you should probably know about the firewood business is number one, there are a lot easier ways to make money. Every single stage of processing firewood is absolutely brutal on your body. And the second thing that you should know is that there's literally next to no money in this business. So I know you're asking yourself, if the work is absolutely brutal and there's not really money in it, then why are you spending your extra time doing that? And I'm hoping by the end of this video that I can explain to you guys exactly my reasons. Now, the reasons why I say that I inadvertently got started in this business is because firewood is something that I have to do every single year anyway. Now, for me, myself, my family, we all heat our homes during the winter with firewood, as well as my in-laws, my sisters, my neighbors, some of my friends, my parents, everyone like that does some sort of wood heat during the winter, and they look to me as at least partially processing that firewood for them because it's something that I do anyway. So right off the bat, just providing for those people, I'm looking at processing at least 20 plus cords of wood. Now, one cord of firewood is 8 feet long, 4 foot high, and 4 foot wide. So it's like a rectangle kind of block of firewood, and it is a lot of firewood. However, a house like mine, depending on how cold the winter is, could go through 6 to 8 cords of firewood per year. So again, I'm already producing 20 plus. And then as people have kind of told people that I am doing their firewood for them, word kind of spread. And before you know it, I'm getting all kinds of people asking like, hey, could you possibly do mine? Could you do mine? So I truly believe that I will be able to sell every single stick of firewood that I can possibly produce. Again, even though there's not really any money in it. Which then of course brings us to the question of why do it. So for me personally, firewood is something that I very, very much enjoy doing. I know other people, when you look at this process, whether it be cutting down trees or hauling the logs up or splitting the logs or stacking the logs or just moving them around or whatever, it looks like a lot of grunt work. It looks like a lot of manual labor, but to someone like me, every single time that I go to split around, I'm looking at the checking, I'm looking at where it is cracked, where there could be vulnerabilities to attack in that log, how to stay away from knots, how to make it go well. Every time I'm stacking, I'm looking and there's places where a piece obviously fits and places where it obviously doesn't fit. So to me, it's like doing a ton of little, very easy rudimentary puzzles, and it's like problem solving going on all the time. And what that does is takes my subconscious and gets that like crazy monkey voice that's in my mind all the time, just going, and it quiets it down and gives it something to do so I can get into much deeper thought and just much calmer states. And it does a lot for me. So for me personally, it's kind of like moving meditation. And it's something that I enjoy anyway. So if I can use the excuse in my free time of, well, I'm doing a side business trying to make money, however minuscule it might be, then I don't feel quite as bad as just doing that, as opposed to like sitting down and doing a jigsaw puzzle. I love doing that. However, I feel kind of bad because I'm not actually producing something. Here I feel like I'm doing little mini puzzles and taking up that subconscious thought, but at the end of the day, I have something to show for it and maybe a little cash in my pocket. Now, the third reason why I'm doing firewood is because it gives me the chance to work with my dad multiple times during the week. So my dad and I, he owned a construction business, and I have always worked with him during the summers, during school, like after college, things like that. I've always been part of that business with him, and we have always heated our houses from the time that I was a little kid all the way up until now with wood heat. So splitting wood with my dad is something that I've always done. It's just something that we both very much enjoy doing together. And to be honest with you guys, I turned 42 next month. My dad isn't getting any younger, and this past year he had a pretty scary time with COVID, where he was in the hospital for a couple weeks, and that got pretty rough. So time isn't getting any shorter, and the more time that I can spend with my parents and my loved ones, if I have the opportunity, then I absolutely will, especially when it's something that we both enjoy doing. So for all those reasons, that's pretty much why I'm kind of inadvertently starting a firewood business. This, again, isn't something that like I'm devoting real time to. This is something that's like all of my free time that I just kind of have patches of. I am stacking wood, I'm splitting wood, I'm using my chainsaw, doing things like that. So yeah, anyway, when I put it out on Instagram and said that I was going to start a side business, a lot of people wanted me to share a lot of the process just because they're interested in doing little side business for themselves, and it's scary if you've never done something like this. So I'm going to be releasing a couple videos as we go along in this process. So if you guys are interested and you want to follow along, then make sure you check those out. But guys, I do thank you for absolutely everything you do, all the ways to support the channel. And hey, if you are a tree company that has a little straighter poles and you want to come deliver out to my house, you let me know at NEVERsate@gmail.com and maybe we can work something out. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for everything. Go out to something amazing with us. Keep working hard, be nice to each other, and I'll see you then.